Music in the morning. Hey, welcome back. Ty here. So today, we're going to get into it on reverb times, delay times. It's a method. It works every time. It's foolproof. There ain't no guessing. Let's hop into it. Alright, so on the track I'm using today is actually a song that's dropping this coming Friday the 10th. So you'll have to tap in. I'll put a little pre-save link below. You have to peep it when it comes out. So with the delay, pretty simple. On my hook here, I got it set as an eighth note, and then my ad-libs are set at a quarter note. And you can really hear the difference between the two. Now with setting the time on the delay, you don't really have to do it on the H delay. You just connect it to the host, or you can type in your BPM and go from there. But let's go ahead and give you a little taste of what this sounds like.
Oh, I got a little bitch, she back at the crib, I know that she waiting on. I keep a little bitch on the side, yeah, I've been fucking on. She gonna go crazy, bite on the pillow, acting like an animal.
So you can hear that delay in there, it really gives it some body. Let me go ahead and solo this. Basically, I got the delay set to an eighth note, so it doesn't quite string along as far, and I got the feedback real low. I don't have the ping pong on this one. It's more rapid fire on this one, so it just doesn't carry. It's a little more compact.
I got a little bitch, she back at the crib, I know that she waiting on. I keep a little bitch on the side, yeah, I've been fucking on.
So you see with the quarter note, it just doesn't resonate the same. A lot of songs that are more singy, kind of more spread out, I will use the quarter note. But for some more rappy stuff, kind of like this, the eighth note does keep it a little more compact, and I love the way that sounds. And a lot of times, I'll set my high pass at about 200 right here, and the low pass at about 5,000, 6,000. And I'll just kind of mess with the settings on this. You can hear the difference on it.
I got a little bitch, she back at the crib, I know that she waiting on. I keep a little bitch on the side, yeah, I've been fucking on. She gonna go crazy, bite on the pillow, acting like an animal. I got a little bitch, she back at the crib, I know that she waiting on. I keep a little bitch on the side, yeah, I've been fucking on. She gonna go crazy, bite on the pillow, acting like an animal. I got a little bitch, she back at the crib, I know that she waiting on. I keep a little bitch on the side, yeah, I've been fucking on. She gonna go crazy, bite on the pillow, acting like an animal. I got a little bitch.
So you can really hear as I turn those in, the high pass, the low pass is cutting the frequencies that you're hearing above or below, and it just kind of tucks the delay in a nice spot, so it sits really nicely. That kind of wraps up the delay. Like I've told you, I always run my delays through sins, and I keep the delay at 100% wet, and then that way I have more creative control over it. Even on this one, it's set pretty low. But going into my long delay for my ad-libs, I got it set as a quarter note.
Whoa, I know that you waiting on.
See it?
Yeah, I've been fucking on.
Transfers a little bit longer. That's where the quarter note comes in, and I got the ping pong set still at 100% wet, but it just carries a little bit further, and then I got the rate turned up here a little bit. That's just in like some modulation. You just kind of mess with it a little bit, and you can get a little different effects out of that. But the high pass at 200, and then I got the low pass at about 3K. Kind of wraps it up on that part for the delay. And then, of course, on my ad-libs, the delay is on the long delay because I got them set separately. That one's turned up just a little bit higher. Now, going into the reverb here, this is the little technique. Pull up my calculator. Yeah, you got to do a little math. And I hate doing math. But, so for this beat, the BPM is 99. So what you want to do, and this will work on any beat, any song, any plugin, whatever. It's setting your reverb time, so your pre-delay, and it'll set it right every time. So you take 60,000, divide that by the BPM, it's 99, and then you divide that by 2 until you get under 100. A lot of times you'll want to do one more. I do, just so it kind of stays in there nice. So you always round up to. So 37.8. You can see I got here my pre-delay at 38. And that other one let's see, the other one was 75. So I'll give you an example of both.
I got a little bitch, she back at the crib, I know that she waiting on. I keep a little bitch on the side, yeah, I've been fucking on. She gonna go crazy, bite in the pillow, yeah, like an animal. I got a little bitch, she back at the crib, I know that she waiting on. I keep a little bitch on the side, yeah, I've been fucking on. She gonna go crazy, bite in the pillow, yeah, like an animal. I got a little bitch, she back at the crib, I know that she waiting on. I keep a little bitch on the side.
It sounds good when you bump it up to the 76. I personally think for this specific song and the sound I want, I don't want that much of a tail on it, so I've bumped it down to the 37. And then you can also mess with your decay if you want to let that trail a little bit longer. You just pull this up here, but on this song, I like it pretty short. On my hook, I don't have it at 100% wet. I have it at 15%, and then I'm running at about negative 14.2 on my control for the send. And it just gives it a nice vibe. It's not overpowered, it's not underpowered, just sits real nice. And then of course I got it set as the room 2 and small. It just fits nicely on this beat and for the way that my vocal presentation was. But then on my long reverb for my ad-libs, I have it set to 100% wet, and I've bumped it up barely bumped up, like 0.3, because it's set at 100% wet. You get more. So I mean, you have the control on the send control, and then the control within the actual plugin itself. The main thing we're talking about is the pre-delay. Just setting your times right. If you do 60,000 divided by the BPM and divide that down by 2 until you get it under 100, and then maybe go one more. Or if you still think that's slightly too much, you can always divide it down again, get a low number. Obviously you don't want to go down to 0, no negatives, but like in that range. Alright, so that about wraps it up for your pre-delay, for your reverb time, your delay time. Just remember that little equation, you get it right every single time. It's a lifesaver. Before I was just guessing, like, does this sound good, does this sound good? You don't have to guess no more. Plug it in, get your answer, and put it in the plug. I appreciate every single one of you. I notice every week, a couple more subscribers, a couple more comments. I've only been doing this for about a month and a half, so I really do appreciate every single one of you. But as you know, this is Ty Ty, bringing you radio quality from home. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that YouTube nonsense. Later.